Well, from the electric Dunlop touring cars to the furious power of the Formula Fords, this is a spectacular car. Looking at it, there may not be a great deal to actually see, but the power and the grunt and the force of this amazing 1600 Ford engine sitting directly behind the driver is a force to be reckoned with. And really, you've got to be a bit of a contortionist to squeeze comfortably into this tiny compartment. Once you're in, you've your helmet on and your hands gripping the wheel. You've literally, for safety, got a very small but very strong back bar to the roll cage here. And after that, you're on your own.
Mark, congratulations, front row, I believe.
Thank you, yeah. First time, or second time this year. I had a bit of problem at the start of the session where the brake balance was a bit to the back, and I brought it forward in the end anyway. I got it together and second on the grid.
What's your background in motorsport?
Well, I started in karts 4 years ago with Gordon Duncan, kart parts, and just progressed from there really. Got involved with Motorsport through my dad, sponsoring them, and this year they took me on and see how I get on.
So this is your first season in Formula Ford?
Yeah, the first season.
Going very well?
Yeah, hopefully. It's been hard with the accident a couple of weeks ago where I got my helmet taken off and trying to get back into it now. I've had a few unlucky breaks, but hopefully it'll come around now.
In motorsport in Ireland, we're not unused to dynasties, and there must be no greater dynasty than the Murray family from Sligo, who have been dominant in Formula Ford almost over the last 2 decades. And here we are at Phoenix Park, and here they are on the front row again. Kevin, you must be hugely delighted with this.
Yes, very delighted.
And of course, it's not without your own involvement.
No, we had some involvement in it, yes. The engine, of course.
Still tinkering away at engines?
Still tinkering away, yes.
Well, now, it's not a son this time, but it's a very close relation.
That's nearly a son.
Well, Bjorn, in fact, you are, your sister is married, of course, to Fionn, is that right?
Former champion Fionn Murray. He's given me a great help, and we went very well this morning in qualifying, and we hope everything goes well for the race.
Both Mark and Bjorn are new faces in the Star of Tomorrow Formula Ford Championship. And Bjorn from the west of Ireland leads away from the line, with Mark with his helmet firmly strapped on, this time in his slipstream. As expected, the race had its usual share of incidents from the young lads. Throughout the race, Mark tried very hard to get past the Reynard, with Damien Burt shadowing him all the way. Down they come, down the main Dunlop straight. And this is where Mark makes the big effort, but tries, I'm afraid, a little bit too hard down into Dublin Crystal Corner. Straight on, does a figure of 8, and that's his race gone. So Bjorn brings the prizes back to Sligo, much to the delight of his brother-in-law, Fionn Murray, a former champion, and of course, Kevin Murray, the man who inspired all his sons to go racing.
Flag is raised, John Schiller, a brilliant win for him, a terrific drive by Damien Burke in the second place, and his third place, number 25.
Our main interest, however, is in the Walden Motors Formula Ford race, a qualifier for the very important Ford of Ireland Championship.
The grid for this, McKenna from Swords on the pole position, Chris Paul from Lisburn on the front row as well, and it's a good start from the 2 front row men as they head down to Dublin Crystal Corner, but everybody looking at that inside line. On the second row is Johnny Wheel from Nace, locking up a squeeze there. Paul goes on straight, and Wheel following a superb breakthrough there. And who came through there? Barrable. Well, that young man lives in Swords, close to the airport. You can see where he gets that action from. But watch it again. Watch the locking up of Chris Paul there. Johnny Whelan follows him. But on the inside, just as they get into the corner, Barrable catches the back, I think, of George McAlpine's car. He's launched into the air, gets straight across the road, or was that Brendan McKenna, father Mark McKenna? But we'll watch it again. You'll see him appear in picture, but this is all important to get cleanly through this first corner.
And out they go onto the long straight, which eventually brought them down to Furry Glen Corner and then back towards us again in the main area. We're coming up now towards Links Bend, and you can see them all fanning out, the survivors that are, but two of the favourites gone already.
And surprise, surprise, the other sister car of Chris Paul, Raymond Knox, has out-fumbled Mark McKenna in the Ballymore Homes car down at HB Magnum Corner out in the outer part of the circuit, and that's Raymond Wallace. Ray Wallace trying down the outside. That's a long way round. McKenna keeping that inside door cleanly closed, so it's Knox from McKenna, from Wallace. The other danger man is Alan Kelly.
Alan Kelly, very experienced indeed in the dual-coloured car. You see the fourth of these as they come down to Magnum Ferry Bend Corner this time. But Raymond Knox, who went very well in this race last year here at Phoenix Park, ex-rally man, and I suppose that kind of suits him, the undulations of Phoenix Park.
Yes, Alan Kelly returned from England to race, has been in the park many times before. Raymond Knox, this will be his first time. I think then it's a yellow flag, I think possible a red flag situation. That's Chris Paul. Yes, the reds are out. Chris Paul really in there, hit the skip. Looks as if he's slightly hurt there.
He's out of the car, he's walking about, but he will obviously need a full medical check. And he looks a little bit shook. It's a nasty place to get offline here at Phoenix Park. You really can't mess about. We're ready for the restart. Going to be a 10-lap race now, and off they go in the finishing positions that they started on the previous lap to the accident.
And that's why we still have McKenna on the pole position and Raymond Knox on the outside. We go back a lap for the start, and everybody looking at that inside again. Wallace holding that third place. And I think Daddy McKenna was involved in a little accident there, number 19 there.
John Schneller, that's the man who won the Star of Tomorrow race, so he's not going to go any further. And quite a number of casualties. Cullen was out of it there again. We see it in replay, and there's the problem, coming right down the inside at enormous velocity. I think it might be your friend from Nace, Brian.
Could have been Johnny Wheel and all. There's somebody limping away there with that left-hand front wheel. He won't be taking any part. But this is where the battle is. Mark McKenna up the front. Raymond Knox. Then it's Ray Wallace. And then we have Alan Kelly again. So the same four from the previous run. They've split ourselves away from the battle in the background. Normally in Formula Fords we have this train, but that little accident at the first corner has split these two. But look at Knox, he's holding that inside line, kind of keep Ray Wallace behind. And this is playing into the hands of Mark McKenna because he's pulling away all the time.
And it's Derek Hayes, I think, who's leading that second group, but they're a long way back now as they pass some of the casualties. There's Kershaw, who actually got his car repaired from the first lap accident and got out again. But this is the battle. This is where it all is.
We're down here in HB Magnum Corner. This is the 40-10 corner, with some of them are using first gear. Very, very tight indeed. You see the gap those four have pulled out. George McAlpine, a winner many times this year, unfortunately way back in the Miller car, but the battle's still up front. That's Wallace, and Kelly's got by into third place. Yes, Kelly is up into third place, so now Raymond Knox has Kelly to contend with, or is it Kelly? We've got to check that. No, it's still Raymond Wallace, still in third place. My mistake. But we're back to Mark McKenna as he leads out on the straight. Now, he hasn't really gained much more ground. Once Knox got away from Wallace, he's beginning to pull him in, and we've got a serious battle for the lead very soon.
In fact, it looks like right now, because the leader, Mark McKenna, has missed a gear, and it looks like Raymond Knox has gone in the lead. As they go down the Rathdown straight, slipstreaming each other, battles all the way down the field. That's Richie Ryans and John Gunning battling, having their own little private dice there, way back in about 8th position. But here's the battle for the lead.
Raymond Knox flying the River Rock flag now. There is partner Chris Ball, and that's Kelly up in the third place now. He's got by Wallace as they're down there at HB Magnum. That's the tightest corner on the circuit, out in the country. But look at this, these three falling all over each other. You have McKenna with Kelly really giving him a hard time. Getting down that inside, I think, yes, he's looking at that second place. Possibly a problem with the gear, but McKenna just closed the door there, and Ray Wallace, and he gets it really sideways. And in the background, we see a white car catching up, and there he's coming into shot. And that is young Derek Hayes, who's moved up into 5th. Now remember, the accident at the start of this race, that helped him, but he's pulling in at a car length per lap. Raymond Knox back out through Dublin Corner as they go out into the country, and Wallace has gone wide there. Kelly threw McKenna back into third place.
And Kelly and indeed Raymond Knox, and here's this battle still going on. That's Richard Ryan there, number 27, surprisingly far down. He's been very, very good racer at Modelo this year, and well up into the final positions. But we're on the final lap, and the third place is far from decided.
far from the side it is, you can see Wallace on the outside, and then it kept being nibbled at, and in fact that's Wallace being bumped back down. There's our leader, that's Raymond Knox, that is Alan Kelly, and who will be third? Will it be McKenna or will it be Wallace?
It's very important for McKenna because he's right up front in the Ford of Ireland Championship. His great rival Chris Paul, as we saw, has crashed out today, so he badly needs these points if he's going to head that table. But Raymond Knox coming up absolutely delighted, no doubt, to win here at Phoenix Park. Alan Kelly very pleased with himself. He really is a veteran now in motorsport. And is it going to be McKenna? It looks like it.
Last race.
Yes, McKenna from Derek Hayes and then from Ray Wallace.
So Raymond Knox winning only the second Formula Ford race in his career, and what a place to win it.
It's nice to get the big one. I've had a terrible season from the start of the year. I've had led about 3 races, crashed every race. Had engine problems, had to rebuild the engine 2 races ago, and it was nice to come here and get a win.
Well, there we see the result, and very interesting points for Mark McKenna, because that puts him to the top of the Ford of Ireland Championship situation. And look at the battle for third in that championship, no less than 4 drivers sharing it.